Sushruta for NEET is now available on the Google Play Store. Try it out for free.
Aneuploidy in allosome. Aneuploidy, what is aneuploidy? Come on. What is aneuploidy? Who will explain? What is aneuploidy?
Aneuploidy means the extra set of chromosomes in the single cell.
Aneuploidy is either one chromosome is more or one chromosome is less from the diploidy, from the normal set. This is always asked a question. So, we have already seen one of the examples for aneuploidy, that is Down syndrome. Now we are looking into aneuploidy in allosomes. Klinefelter syndrome is an example for aneuploidy in allosome. Here, we have XXY complex allosomal trisomy. It is allosomal trisomy, XXY complex. Allosome means a sex chromosome. Here, sex chromosomes are not in 2 copies, but they are in 3 copies, trisomy. This syndrome was reported by Klinefelter. It is an allosomal aneuploidy produced due to the presence of 2 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome along with the autosome. Now you tell me how this may happen. How this may happen? Anyone? There are 2 X chromosome and 1 Y. What is the chance? Why it might happen? What might be the reason? How it might happen? Anyone? Kanisa? Navya? Are you hearing me? Duti? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How it might happen? Kanisa, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, this syndrome is found, very important sentence, found by the union of a normal sperm having Y chromosome with a non-disjunct ovum carrying XX chromosome. Non-disjunct ovum. Ovum has XX chromosome, ovum has XX chromosome, and sperm has Y chromosome. Or it may also be found by the union of a non-disjunct sperm carrying XY chromosome, sperm having XY chromosome, and a normal egg with the X chromosome. Normal ovum carrying X chromosome. Have you understood this? Janani?
Yes, sir.
Rakesh? The resulting individual will have 47 chromosomes with the genotype 44 autosomes plus XXY. Vismita, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Duti, Aisha,
Yes, sir.
Siddesh?
Yes, sir.
Look here. This is what all chromosomes in 2 copies, but sex chromosome in 2 copy plus Y chromosome. So altogether there are 47 chromosomes. Individuals are called Klinefelter individual. Characteristics of Klinefelter syndrome include they are sterile males, they cannot reproduce, they have tall stature and long limbs, they have scanty hair on the body. Generally, men have a lot of hairs on the body. Sometimes, if at all you see your uncle, there may be a small banyan tree inside the banyan. Am I right? Am I right? Navya, banyan tree
Yes,
inside the
sir.
banyan. Okay? Tendency towards the development of a female like enlarged breast. You see sometimes in uncles big breast, underdeveloped testes, underdeveloped prostate glands, and genitalia. These are the characteristics of Klinefelter syndrome. Look here. You also come across in them what is called gynecomastia. What is that? Enlargement of a man's breast, usually due to hormone imbalance or hormone therapy. Remember the word gynecomastia. Right? Okay. You also come across sometimes cryptorchidism. That is failure of the testes to get descended down. Some affected individuals have differences in their genitalia, including undescended testes. You know, testes will be there above only. It will go up. It will not come down. Undescended testes. Undescended testes. The opening of the urethra on the underside penis, hypospadias, or an unusually small penis, micropenis. These are all possible. Small penis, micropenis, hypospadias. I'll show you this. Okay. This is what you have. Hypospadias. Actually, you expect the urethral opening here. Sometimes opening will be somewhere here. But this can be all, not that multiple, only one, somewhere here. Either any one of these. So this is what is called hypospadias. Right? This is the Klinefelter syndrome. Individual, how they look like, with enlarged breast. No hairs on the body. Right? Understood? Small penis, small testicles, lack of facial, pubic, underarm hair, taller than average height, enlarged breast, slim physicalness, disproportionately long leg compared to the length of the body, slightly impaired IQ. Even their IQ is also affected. Sometimes the boy may have speech and hearing difficulties. You have this screenshot. You must know that these are some of the additional points. Coming to the Turner syndrome, XO complex. That means there is only one X. So what is the total number of chromosome here? Total number of chromosome here? 45. So it is an aneuploidy for allosome. This syndrome was reported by Henry Turner. It is an allosomal aneuploidy produced due to the presence of only one X chromosome along with the autosome. The other sex chromosome is absent. Therefore, they are monosomic for allosome. Allosomic monosomy. Monosomic for allosome. Allosome is occurring in one copy, not two copies. This syndrome is found by the union of a normal sperm carrying an X chromosome with an abnormal ovum without an X chromosome. Normal sperm carrying X chromosome with an abnormal ovum without an X chromosome. So there will be only one X chromosome in the zygote. Normal sperm with X chromosome, ovum without X chromosome. It may also be found by the union of an abnormal sperm without X chromosome, without any chromosome, and normal ovum with X chromosome. Are you understanding its point? Prithviraj?
Yes, sir.
Kavita? The resulting individual will have 45 chromosomes with the genotype 44 autosome plus XO. O means there is only one X. Look here. This is what you have. Only one X. And also you must know, sometimes you will be asked in examination, in a human chromosomal complement, how many groups are there? If the question is asked, in human karyotype, chromosomes are arranged in how many groups? Do you have any answer? Kanisa? Aisha? Any answer? Answer is, it is 7. This is one group, this is a group 2, and this is group 3, and this is group 4, and this is group 5, and this is group 6, and this is group 7. So, the autosomes are arranged in the 7 groups. Understood? Understood? And these groups are formed because of the resemblance in their height. All almost equal, near heights are put in one group. 7 groups are there. Characteristics of Turner syndrome include, they are sterile females, short stature, shield-shaped broad chest, webbed neck, very, very important feature, webbed neck. Webbed neck. Shield-shaped broad chest means without breast. Ovaries are rudimentary. Menstrual cycle does not take place, and breasts are underdeveloped, not developed, poorly developed. And this is what you see. Short stature, webbing of the skin on the neck. See here? Webbing of the skin on the neck region. That is what is called webbed neck. A low hairline at the back of the head, low set ears, abnormal bone development, especially bones of the hands and elbow. Hands and elbow. A lack of breast development at the expected age, near around the age of 13. And an absence of menstruation. They don't show period. Understood? Clear? Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
No? Shall I go ahead? So, you must know another important syndrome, what is called Cray-Duchet syndrome. Cray-Duchet syndrome is also called cat-cry syndrome. This is an additional point. Whether you are told about this, Kanisa? Kanisa, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Whether this is told in the class?
No.
No. So it is also called cat-cry syndrome, Cray-Duchet syndrome. And this is due to deletion of the short arm of a fifth chromosome. Deletion of short arm of fifth chromosome. The syndrome is named based on the infant's cry. When the infant cries, it sounds like a cat cry. So symptoms include feeding problems because of difficulty in swallowing and sucking, low birth weight, poor growth, severe cognitive problem. That means perception, language, reasoning, emotion, all these are called cognitive problems. Speech and motor delay. Behavior problems such as hyperactivity, aggression, tantrum, getting angry, and repetitive movements. Unusual facial features which may change over time. So this you need not to remember much about the symptoms and all, but remember it is called cat-cry syndrome and it is due to the deletion of short arm of fifth chromosome. Now, this is what? Fifth chromosome short arm is deleted. And I hope you know, you must know that there are two more syndromes. Just remember, there is a syndrome called Edwards syndrome. Edwards syndrome is also known as a trisomy 18. That means chromosome number 18 is in 3 copies. Is in 3 copies, trisomy. Okay, just to know that. Okay, now, in the same way, Edwards syndrome, Edward 18, trisomy of 18, Edward 18. Okay, you have another one, what is called Pato syndrome. Pato syndrome is a trisomy of 13, Pato, Pato, 13. Just remember like that. Trisomy of 13, that is Pato syndrome. Because these two syndromes, you must know, there are hundreds of syndromes, you need not worry about that. So, this also you must remember. So, you must know that Huntington's disease causing gene is present on chromosome number 4. Sickle cell disease caused gene is on chromosome number 11, which gets affected or mutated is on chromosome 11, and phenylketonuria related gene is situated on chromosome number 12. Right? You know, blood group gene is situated on
9th chromosome.
chromosome number 9. Very good. Who said it?
Navya.
Navya. Good. Right? So, that is about this particular part. So, let me just stop this here. And I have to tell you something more. Now, what I wanted to tell you is about interaction of genes. This you have to actively participate. Right? Now, what is this interaction of genes? This is the one which is not there in your anxiety book. It is an additional point. Have you heard about epistasis, supplementary factor, complementary factor like that? Have you heard about that? Why you are not interacting?
No, sir.
Are you tired?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Now let us look into Mendel's laws of segregation and independent assortment suggest that each trait is determined by a single pair of genes. Am I right? You know, each trait is determined by a single pair of genes. Later, it was found that there are many exceptions to the classical Mendelian ratio. This could be explained by assuming that two or more pairs of genes, the expression of which interact, influence many characters. So even if you believe that one pair of gene is one gene with one pair of allele is responsible for one character, sometimes it is said that more number of genes can interact with each other and modify the phenotypic expression of one, or it may change the phenotypic expression of the other. Now, depending upon the form of interaction, phenotypic ratios are modified in various ways, although the fundamental laws of transmission remains the same. This is what most important sentence. Several pairs of genes located in the different pairs of chromosome, may interact to affect the production of a single trait. One pair may modify, inhibit, or reverse the effect of another pair of the genes. Now let us see that here is one homologous pair chromosome, and there are two genes. Let us say this is capital A and small a. Okay. There is one more chromosome here, and let us say that there is one more gene, capital B, or capital B, small b. When this is present, these particular genes are present on one chromosome, let us say that this brings about a phenotypic expression called X. But when another gene is present on the other chromosome, when these genes are present, these genes, whenever they are present there, and this gene may change this expression of this from X to Y. If this is not there, expression is X. When this gene comes, that means here two pairs of genes situated on different chromosomes interact and change the character expressed by this particular gene. And this is what is called gene interaction. This is known as gene interaction or factor interaction. I don't know whether you got confused or convinced. Convinced or confused?
Confused.
Confused. Who said it?
Kenisa.
Kenisa. You must get confused. Otherwise you will not learn. I will give you the example now. Supplementary factor. Please take the screenshot of this. Supplementary factor. Bateson and Punnett discovered a classical case of two genes influencing the same character. Two genes influence the same character in fowl. Okay? What is this? In what way? Each variety of poultry possesses a characteristic type of comb. There is a comb called rose comb. Yandot is a type of a breed of a fowl. It produces a comb called rose. There is another breed of fowl called Brahma's breed. It has a comb called P. And one more breed is called a Leghorn. It has a comb called Single. There are these three different types of comb. What is one comb? Rose. What is another comb called? P. What is one more comb called? Single. Each of these types can breed true. They can be bred true. Now, let me show you. Look here. This is a rose comb. What is the breed? Yandot breed. And this is P comb. P comb. What is the breed? Brahma's breed. Versus P comb. Now, this is a rose comb. This is P comb. Right? You have here single comb. This is called single comb. Three comb pattern. What are they? What are they? What are they?
Rose, P and single.
Rose, P and single. Now, I want you to arrange marriage between them. This is a rose comb, this is a P comb, and this is a single comb. Okay? Now, what will happen when the rose comb the fowl is the rose comb, is crossed with a single comb. Is crossed with a single comb. Rose is crossed with a single comb fowl. Resulting all rows. What is the indication? What is the
Rose
indication?
is dominant.
Rose is dominant over
Rose
single.
is to dominate over. Rose is to dominate to single. Now, this F1 rows are interpreted. You get in the F2 3/4 rows and 1/4 single in the F2. So it is rows is to dominate over single. Right? Okay. Now you have P comb crossed with the single. F1 is a P. What is the indication?
P is dominant over single.
P is a dominant over single. Okay. When this F1P self-put, you get in F2 3/4 P and 1/4 single. 1/4 single. Right? Right? Now,
Yes, sir.
now what we shall do? Okay, you started crossing. You tell me what cross you can do now.
Rose and P.
Rose and P? Yes. Who wants it? Janani or Navya?
Janani.
Pardon?
Janani.
Janani. Let us make Janani also happy. Okay. Rose and P is crossed. When Rose and P are crossed, you will get in F1 altogether different type of comb pattern walnut. This is the different types of pattern walnut. Janani,
Yes, sir.
what you wanted to do further? What you want to do now?
Selfing
This walnut,
Don't know, sir.
self-put.
Selfing.
What you will get? What you are going to get? Hello?
Rose and P, sir.
Huh?
1
Rose
by
and P, sir.
rose and 1/4 P and half of walnut.
1/4
4 rose.
rose,
1/4 P
1/4 P,
and half of walnut.
walnut. The result is you are crossing a walnut, you are selfing walnut. You see, when this is crossed, you see walnut and walnut crossed, you get a 9 walnut, 3 rows, 3 P, 1 single. Understood? You get a modified 9:3:3:1 ratio. This is not the dihybrid ratio. This is somewhat equivalent to dihybrid ratio, but it's not exactly dihybrid ratio. It is a modified dihybrid ratio. Why? What has happened? Look here. Now, answer this explanation to this question is, what is that? This rows, when you cross the rows with the P, rose fowl possessed a gene for rose color. Rose, what is that gene? Capital RR. And it also had on another chromosome small pp. On one chromosome there was RR, on one chromosome, and another one there is a small pp. But this is a recessive, so this is a rose. In a P, there is a capital P, making it a P comber, and also it had another allele RR in a recessive form. When this R and this P on a different chromosome came together, they changed the expression. When capital R and capital P came together due to interaction of gene, this character resulted. It was neither rose nor P, but it was something different walnut. And it is due to gene interaction. Interaction of genes situated on different chromosomes. The dominant gene alone would have produced a rose or would have produced a P. Recessive of them would have produced a single. But when two dominant genes came together, it resulted in the walnut. Understood? Are you following me? This is walnut. Why? You see a minimum 2 dominant alleles. There are 4 dominant alleles, walnut. 3 dominant alleles, walnut. 3 dominant alleles, walnut. 2 dominant alleles, walnut. Walnut. 2 dominant alleles of R. These are 2 different RP. RP, 2 different alleles. Here, only capital RR, rose. This walnut. Only 1 R, dominant allele, rose. When 2 dominant alleles come together, it results in walnut. When only 2 P alleles are there, results in P. 1 P allele, dominant P allele, results in P. Rose, P. When all dominate, results in single. This is a type of interaction, what is known as a supplementary factor. Have you understood? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we have the walnut, this I will leave that. One more type of interaction I come across. This is what is called supplementary factor. Okay? Now, you have what is called complementary factor. What is that? The inheritance of a flower color in sweet peas, seed color in maize, flower color in sweet pea, not your garden pea, sweet peas, and seed color in maize, and similar situations in other organisms suggest an explanation for the numerous instances among domesticated animals and plants in which crosses between true breeding varieties produce progeny resembling a remote ancestor. Important. Crosses between true breeding varieties produce progeny resembling a remote ancestor. This peculiar throwback or atavism or reversion, the appearance of an old trait, is usually due to the reunion of 2 or more genes necessary for its production, which had become separated in the history of the species. You may not understand. I will tell you. I will give an example about this complementary factor. The genes are present. For some reason, they never expressed it. For some reason, they never got inherited together. But when they come together, it brings about the expression of a new character. When crosses between true breeding varieties produce progeny resembling a remote ancestor, not immediate ancestor, remote ancestor, grandfather, grandmother, grandma. Now, even though I start giving an example, you will understand. Okay. This is what is called atavism. Term atavism. What is atavism? Atavism is a sudden appearance of the character of our remote ancestor. I hope. Have you heard about or have you seen a baby born with the tail?
No,
Have
sir.
you heard or have you seen baby
No,
born
sir.
with the tail?
No, sir.
No? You want to get to that baby? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
You will, if at all you are fortunate, you will get a little long also. Need not be so small. And this is what is called sudden appearance of ancestral character. Who is your ancestor? Who possesses the tail? Who?
Monkey.
Monkey. So this is what atavistic character. Let us go back. So here, the term atavism denotes tendency to revert to ancestor type. And atavism is an evolution throwback, such as the traits reappearing which had disappeared generations ago. Atavism occurs because genes for previously existing phenotypical features are often preserved in DNA, even though the genes are not expressed in some or most of the organisms possessing them. Now you tell me, if the babies are born with the tail, is it not that the gene should be there for the tail? Hello? If the babies get born with the tail, is it not that the gene for the tail should be there?
Yes, sir.
And this gene may not get expressed. You know, all of us we have tailbone. You know, what is that? What is it called? Yeah, you have a short bone at the end of your vertebral column. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that?
Coccyx.
Coccyx. Who said it?
Navya.
Navya. Coccyx. Tailbone. A short bone which is there at the end of your vertebral column. Navya. Navya.
Yes, sir.
When you don't have a tail, why you should have tailbone? Do you have tail?
No, sir.
Then why you have tailbone?
Sir,
Because
throughout generations, it's been.
because your ancestor had that tail. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Your ancestor had the tail, and therefore you are still showing tailbone. And therefore, what we can presume is that even today we have gene which can be responsible for phenotypic expression of tail. But because of evolution, because you never required tail, if the tail was there, another problem. Now we don't want to have the long plate. ಏನು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನವ್ಯ ಏನು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Long hair, sir.
ಜಡೆ long hair. You want to get it cut. If at all you had a tail, you would have got cut. That also. Okay. Now, coming back. Therefore, we get sometimes a sudden appearance of the ancestor character in a young one called atavism. You remember, early embryos of various species display some ancestral feature like a tail on this human fetus. You have tail in a human fetus. But before the baby is born, sometimes at the time of birth, you may come across the tail. Doctor will surgically remove it. This is what you have. So, 4-year-old Jax of China was born with hairy black moles covering the parts of her chest, black chest, neck, face. The media reported condition as atavism, sudden appearance of ancestral character. So, Bateson and Punnett have demonstrated that sometimes 2 or more dominant genes occurring in separate chromosomes interact to produce a trait, one complementing the other. There are 2 genes occurring on different chromosomes, but they interact to produce a trait, one complementing the other. What is that? Let us say. Neither pair is alone sufficient to produce that trait. Such genes are called complementary genes. In such cases, one pair acts as actual determiner and another pair acts as initiator or supporter. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. They worked out. Now, these 2 genes, determiner and supporter or initiator, should come together to produce that character. These are complementary to each other. They work out such results by assuming that 2 complementary genes interact to bring into the expression the colored flower in Lathyrus odoritus. It is a sweet pea. Okay? Now let us look into that. Look here. This is the 2 flowers of Lathyrus odoritus, white flower and purple flower. Both these flowers appear in this sweet pea, Lathyrus odoritus. Okay? Now, what we are going to do? You are crossing this white flower, one plant with another white flower plant. 2 white flower plants are crossed. In the F1, you get almost a different colored flower. Not white, totally different color. What is happening now? What is happening? This is purple color. What do you see? Look here. This purple flower, what do you get F1? They are sulfured. When they are sulfured, you get 9 purple, 7 white. 9 purple, 7 white. How it happened? Why it happened? Let us see. Look here. When you have here, when true breeding, white flower plants, so true breeding there, are crossed, purple colored flowers appeared in F1. When F1 plants are self-crossed, in the F2 generation, 9 plants produce purple flower and 7 white flowers. So, now you can say there is a gene called C. A gene C having a recessive allele small c is responsible for a colorless substance, or it is responsible for the production of substance called chromogen. A substance, chromogen. In order to this substance to get produced, so there is a requirement of dominant C. If the dominant C is there, this substance gets produced. This substance as such is colorless, but this substance is required to make the flower color. It is a colorless substance called chromogen. Another gene, capital E, having a recessive allele small e, is responsible for an activating enzyme. For an activating enzyme which converts chromogen into anthocyanin colored pigment. I repeat, there are two genes, one is capital C, another capital E. Capital C is required to produce coloring substance chromogen. Capital E is responsible to produce the enzyme which is required to convert chromogen into the colored pigment anthocyanin. Understood? Understood, Janani?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Siddesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, these two genes are required. When these two factors came together, enzyme reacted with the color base, leading to the production of colored flower. Now, let us say, now, this is white. Why? Why? Even though chromogen is there, the gene which is required to produce enzyme, which is required to convert this chromogen into color, is in recessive condition. This is white. Why? The chromogen producing substance C, dominant C is not there. So chromogen substance is not produced, even though the enzyme is present, of no use. Here chromogen is there, no enzyme. Here chromogen is not there, enzyme is present. When these two come together, it results in purple. When this F1 purple is sulfur, you get, what is this? What is this? Purple. Why this is white? Why it is white?
E is recessive.
E is recessive. Chromogen producing gene is there. Enzyme producing gene is not there. Right? Purple. White. Purple. Why white? Why white? Why white?
C is
Why
recessive.
white?
C is recessive.
Chromogen producing substance is not produced. Chromogen is not produced. Enzyme is there. So white. Understood? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We get complementary ratio is 9:7. Understood? What you have to remember? Supplementary, what are the example? Complementary, what are the example? What is the ratio, F2 ratio of supplementary factor? Supplementary gene interaction. Now, I think Kanisa or Aisha, someone said, sir, we did not understand this gene interaction. Confused. Who said confused? Who
Kanisa.
said confused?
Kanisa.
Kanisa,
Yes, sir.
you said confused?
Yes.
Now convinced or confused?
Little bit convinced.
Little bit convinced?
Yes, sir.
Is it that everyone a little bit convinced? Aisha, Duti, Rakesh.
Yes, sir.
Aisha is totally confused. Hello?
Even me, sir.
What, pardon? Rakesh? Siddesh?
Even me also bit confusions are there.
What confusion? What I'm telling, one gene present on one numerous chromosome is responsible for one character. This gene, this chromosome with this gene is responsible for another character. When these two genes come together, they modify the character, get into something new. Kanisa, what
Yes,
part
sir.
is still confusion? Which part is still confusion, under confusion?
That walnut comb, that part, sir.
No, I said, when there is one capital R, what is the color? What is the comb?
Rose.
Rose. When one P is there, what is the
P.
P? When both of these come together, what is that?
Walnut.
Then what is the confusion? When all of these are in recessive, what is the condition? Capital R is in recessive, P is in recessive, all are recessive. What is the condition? What is the cum? What is the cum?
Single.
Single.
Then who has confusion? You are confusing me now. You are confused. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many are there? Students? Can you make out?
16 are there.
16. I must now ask then, who are there? Okay. Kavita understood? Rafa?
Yes, sir.
Fatima? Are you Rafa or Fatima?
Anything, sir. Both are my
Anything.
names.
Yeah, for. Okay. Siddesh, can you? Harshavardhan?
Sir,
Harsha?
sir.
Convinced or confused? You wanted to tell me again? Because I'm taking too much of time. I don't know whether we can finish. Vismita,
Yes, sir.
understood?
Yes, sir.
Right? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we shall take another one. What is that? Inhibitory factor, epistasis. Epistasis is the prevention of the expression of one gene, prevention of the expression of one gene by another non-allelic gene. What do you mean by non-allelic gene? A non-allelic gene, remember, here you have gene, here you have gene. These genes are allelic genes. Also we say intra-allelic. These genes are allelic genes. This is allele for this is allele of this. Allele of this, allele of this. And it is within intra-allelic. And if I take this gene and this gene, they are non-allelic gene. Non-allelic gene. Epistasis is the prevention of the expression of one gene by another non-allelic gene. It can be like this, or it can be like this. It can be like this. It can be like this. Are they allelic or non-allelic? Here, A and B. A and B. Allelic or non-allelic? Allelic or non-allelic?
Non-allelic.
Who said Janani? Navya.
Janani, sir.
Janani, right. Star of the day. It appears that Janani is a little bit serious. No. These are also non-allelic. These are also non-allelic. These are
Allelic.
Allelic.
allelic. The inhibiting gene is called epistatic gene. If at all, this gene inhibits the expression of this gene. If gene A inhibits the expression of gene B, it is called here A gene inhibits the expression B. The inhibiting gene is called epistatic A. Inhibited gene is called hypostatic B. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Epistasis is of two types, namely dominant epistasis and recessive epistasis. Now let us see. The prevention of the expression of a gene by a dominant non-allelic gene, prevention of the expression of a gene by a dominant non-allelic gene is called dominant epistasis. White and color feather in false. Example, you just remember. Expression of a gene by a dominant non-allelic gene is called dominant epistasis. The prevention of the expression of a gene by a recessive non-allelic gene, recessive non-allelic gene is called recessive epistasis. So you remember, epistasis is of two types: dominant epistasis and recessive epistasis. Right? Dominant epistasis is seen in white and color feather in fowl. Recessive epistasis is seen in coat color in mice. Okay? Rafa.
Yes, sir.
What is the recessive epistasis?
Prevention of expression.
Recessive epistasis? When a epistatic gene is in a recessive condition, it's a recessive epistasis. When an epistatic gene is in a dominant one, it is called dominant epistasis. What is epistasis? Epistasis is inhibiting a gene from expressing. I said here, epistasis is the inhibition or prevention of the expression of one gene by another gene. Right? Now, let us say that you have here a person, here a chromosome. One allele is here. And you tell me whether this allele is expressed or not. Whether this
It
allele
is. It is.
expresses or not.
It is
Yes, sir.
expressed.
Expresses?
Yes.
When
Yes,
you come in this condition in homologous chromosome, whether this allele gets expressed or not.
No.
No, it's
No.
recessive.
It is not expressed. Why?
It's recessive.
Recessive.
Yeah. Here you have, it's a dominant allele. It will not allow this one to express. This is what is called dominance, recessive relationship. Dominance, recessive relationship. Now, yes, this will prevent the expression of this. Now, if this prevents the expression of this, it is non-allelic. Am I right? One allele, it prevents the expression of another allele present on another chromosome. Therefore, this and this are non-allelic. These two are
Allelic.
Allelic.
These two are
Allelic.
allelic. Now, if this dominant allele suppresses this allele, prevents this allele, what is it called?
Dominant epistasis.
Epistasis.
Dominant.
If this allele prevents this allele from expressing, what is it called?
Recessive epistasis.
Recessive epistasis. But if this allele has to suppress this one, if this allele has to prevent this allele, who should not be there? Who should not be there?
Capital A.
Yeah, this should not be there. This should be in what condition? If this allele has to suppress this allele, this should be in what condition? Recessive. Is it Janani?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it should be recessive. Understood? So, if the dominant allele suppresses another dominant allele which is non-allelic, it is dominant epistasis. If the recessive allele suppresses another non-allelic gene, it is a recessive epistasis. So, epistasis is of two types: dominant epistasis and recessive epistasis. The prevention of the expression of a gene by a dominant non-allelic gene. I hope you understand this point. Are you understanding this point?
Yes, sir.
Harshavardhan,
Yes, sir.
did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Vismita,
Yes, sir.
Kavita,
Yes, sir.
Aisha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Really? Inheritance color pattern in poetry is a case of dominant epistasis. Now let us see the example. Epistasis is a non-allelic genic interaction. What do you mean by non-allelic? What do you mean by non-allelic? What do you mean by non-allelic? In one
Alleles
sentence.
on different chromosomes.
Who said it?
Rafa.
Rafa. Is it R-A-P-A-H?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this?
A star.
Star. So epistasis is a non-allelic genic interaction because here the alleles are present on
Different chromosomes.
different chromosome or anyone else or
Same chromosome.
same chromosome,
Different locus.
different loci. Good. It is same, Rafa? Okay. In epistasis, a single character is controlled by the interaction of two or more non-allelic genes. Hey, here, gene located on one locus interacts with another gene, another locus. Here, gene located on one locus interacts with another gene located in another locus on the same chromosome or
Different chromosome.
different chromosome. So it is a non-allelic gene interaction. Okay. Dominant epistasis. Example. In a white leghorn, what is a leghorn? Leghorn is a cow. In white leghorn, there are white birds and colored birds. The colored birds are due to dominant gene capital C, which produces colored pigment. Colored birds are due to dominant gene capital C, which produces colored pigment. When this gene is recessive, the bird cannot produce color pigment. The bird is white. Understood? This is the white leghorn. Why it is white leghorn? Because of
Recessive C gene.
recessive genes. Further, the dominant gene capital C is inhibited by another dominant gene capital I located in another locus. When capital I is present along with capital C, the bird cannot produce a color pigment. Hence the bird is white. Why? This I, what does? What this eye does? When this is alone, it produces color. The dominant gene C is inhibited by another dominant gene I located on the locus. So when I is present along with the C, the bird cannot produce color pigment, hence bird is white. The recessive gene I cannot inhibit C. However, in other various varieties, white andots and white Plymouth Rock falls, this character is recessive to colored feather. And the gene responsible is different from that of which produces white leghorn. Okay, let us see. Now we have white leghorn, white yandot, white Plymouth. Why this is white? Why this white leghorn is white? White leghorn is white because there is one gene which is preventing the another gene from expressing the color. Look here. This is white leghorn. This is white yandot. This is white Plymouth. All are white. Why these are white? Why this is white? We shall see. Look here. Now, does the color pattern in the white leghorn occur as follows? Why this is white? Because there is one gene which inhibits another gene from getting expressed. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now let us see. Let us see. Let us see. You are cross, white leghorn, genetically colored. But it is white. Why? Why? There is a inhibiting gene. It inhibits it from expressing. This is white. Why? There is no color gene. Color gene is in a recessive condition. So this is white. Why? Why?
Sir, the eye gene is in heterozygous condition.
Okay, I will come back. This is white. Why?
Dominant eye gene is present.
Dominant eye is inhibiting this one. This is color. Why?
Eye is recessive.
That dominant gene, that inhibiting gene is in recessive condition. This is colored. Why? Same. This is white. Why?
I is recessive.
Inhibiting gene is in recessive. Color gene is also recessive. This is white. Why?
See, color
Eye is dominant.
I is the dominant.
And C is also recessive.
Recessive. White. 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 Okay. Now, in the Plymouth Rock, the colored bird is due to the dominant gene C. White bird is due to recessive C. If C is there, they would have been colored. If this is recessive, they are white. Hence, I gene inhibits the C. Here also, I gene, this is gene. Whenever this gene is present, it never allows another. What is this gene called? What is this gene called?
Inhibiting gene.
What type of inhibiting gene?
Dominant.
Dominant. What is this gene called?
Color gene.
This inhibits this. So it is called
Hypostatic.
hypostatic. Okay. When white leghorn and Plymouth Rock are crossed, let us cross. White leghorn and Plymouth Rock are crossed, you will get white. Let us interbreed them. Now, this is white because this I inhibits this C. This is white, say I inhibits this C. Now, when these are crossed, you will get what? White, 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 white. Can you see that? Why these are white? How much you get? 13 white, 3 colored. Am I right? Is it correct?
Yes,
Why
sir.
they are colored?
Because eye gene is recessive.
Inhibiting gene is recessive. Inhibiting gene is recessive. Therefore, they are colored. Colored. Understood? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
This is an example for? This is
Epistatic.
an example for? For what?
Dominant
Dominant
epistasis.
epistasis. Now let us look into recessive epistasis. Listen to me. Here, the recessive allele, please remember, I am not teaching unnecessarily. Do you know that on gene interaction, the questions have come in a NEET? Are you aware?
No, sir.
Yeah, 2-3 times they have asked the question on this. Gene interaction. Recently. Right. Recessive epistasis. Here, the recessive allele masks the effect of dominant allele when come in homozygous condition. What do you mean by that? Recessive allele masks the effect of dominant allele when come in homozygous condition. Who should come in homozygous condition?
A.
A. Then only it can mask B. If that like this, no. Like this, yes. Example. In the mice, the wide body color is known as agouti, grayish. The wide body color is known as agouti and is controlled by a gene, say A for agouti, which is hypostatic to recessive allele small c. Hypostatic to recessive allele small c, which is epistatic.
C, recessive.
C is epithelial. Recessive C. The dominant allele, capital C, in the presence of small a, gives colored mice. So C is responsible for, capital C is responsible for colored mice.
Color.
In the presence of dominant allele, capital C, in the presence of dominant allele, capital C, A gives rise to agouti. In the presence of dominant allele C, C is responsible for what? Otherwise, C is responsible for colored mice. A is responsible for agouti. Right? Understood? You have agouti. Due to which gene? Which gene?
A.
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 This is due to which gene? Colored.
C.
See. This and this one is same. And this is due to small c. Am I right? Small c. Or it may be due to
Small a.
what is this now?
Black color. Heterozygote, sir.
Black? No, you have not got it. Okay, 1 minute. Now, capital CCAA will be colored, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Small cc, capital AA, what is that? What is that? Albino, white.
But-
Why? Why? Why albino? Recessive allele controlling.
Dominant allele.
What is this
Dominant
relationship called?
Recessive epistasis.
Recessive epistasis. Recessive allele inhibiting dominant allele. Recessive white. When colored mice are crossed with albino, agouti mice appear. Is it agouti? Why this is agouti? This is for what?
Color. Color.
A for
White.
A for
Agouti.
A
Grace.
for Yeah, no.
Agouti.
Who said white? Who said white?
Cancer.
Kenisa. Sleeping. A for A for
Agouti.
agouti. Right? So, agouti mice.
Sir, but in the first line it is given albino.
Pardon?
In the first line it is given albino.
In the first,
First line here. CC.
Here. CC, AA will be albino. Why? 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 Why?
Due to recessive epistasis. C, both are in the
Because recessive allele is going to control dominant allele. Therefore, it is albino. Canisa.
Yes, sir.
Coming back. Here, the recessive allele masks the effect of dominant allele when come in homozygous condition. Recessive epistasis, I repeat. Recessive allele masks the effect of dominant allele when come in homozygous condition. Which is coming in homozygous condition?
Recessive allele.
Recessive allele. In the mice, wild body color is known as agouti. grayish, and is controlled by gene
A.
A, which is hypostatic to recessive allele
C.
C. The dominant allele capital C in the presence of a small a gives a colored mice because C. In the presence of dominant allele C, A gives agouti. That means this C is doing nothing to A. A is responsible for
Agouti.
this C has no control over A. It is not epistatic. Does not do anything. So A gives rise to agouti even if it is with the C. Understood? Understood? Not understanding?
No, sir.
Okay, we shall proceed. Now, yeah, this is what? Color. Why?
A is recessive.
Not it is because A is recessive. It is because of
Dominant
gene.
epitasis.
Colored gene. C is for color. Small c for
White.
dominant recessive. Here, this is colored because of capital C. This is albino. Why? This
Small
A is for
Agouti.
agouti, colored one, grey one. But why it is albino? Can you say?
Recessive.
Can you say?
C is recessive and it is in homozygous condition.
This is epistatic over
A.
A. So it is
Albino.
Albino.
What is this? What is this? What is this?
Agouti.
Why? Why? Here, can this C control this A?
No.
No.
Why?
Because it is heterozygous condition.
Because her husband is here. She cannot control another man there outside because this small c is already controlled by its dominant allele. So it cannot control this. So this is expressed now. What is that expression?
Agouti.
Agouti. Now you tell me why this is agouti? Because of the gene agouti. Why this is agouti? Gene A for agouti. Why this is agouti? Gene A for agouti. This is agouti because A is agouti. CCA is also
Agouti.
is also
Agouti.
is also
Agouti.
Agouti.
is also
Albino.
is also
Albino.
albino. So this is agouti. This is colored.
Color.
This is agouti.
Agouti.
This is colored. This is agouti. This is
Agouti.
this is
Albino.
Albino.
this is
Albino.
this is
Agouti.
this is
Colored.
this is
Albino.
this is
Albino.
and you will get to the ratio 9:3:4. What is this interaction called? Recessive
Recessive epistasis.
epistasis. Now let us go to duplicate gene. 15:1. When a single character is controlled by two or more pairs of non-allelic gene independently, the genes are called duplicate genes. when a single character is controlled by two or more pairs of non-allelic genes. Independently, the genes are called duplicate genes. It is a non-allelic gene interaction. You must know what is allelic gene interaction, what is non-allelic gene interaction. So, dominant recessive relationship, is it allelic or non-allelic?
Allelic.
Good, that you should know. Dominant recessive interaction is always allelic. So, it is a non-allelic gene interaction. George Shell reported a case of duplicate gene in common weed, shepherd purse, Bursa bursae pastoris. What is it? Bursa. He noticed. What he noticed? This is a commonly weed, shepherd purse. Weed it is. You see a lot of these weeds in the open area. And this shepherd purse, it produces two varieties of seed cases. Two varieties of seed cover. Triangular seed case, oval seed case. Triangular seed case is controlled by two dominant genes, capital T, capital D, independently. If capital T, capital D, if any one of these dominant genes are there, it is a triangular. Any one. The triangular seed case is controlled by two dominant genes, T and D, independently. Any one dominant gene can produce a triangular seed. The recessive genes produce oval seed case. Recessive genes produce oval seed case. Now you tell me what is the genotype of this? What is the genotype of this oval seed case?
Small t.
Small t.
Small d.
What is the seed cover now?
Triangular.
What is the seed cover now?
Triangular.
What is the seed cover
Triangular.
now?
Triangular.
What is the seed cover
Triangular.
now?
Triangular.
What is the seed cover now?
This oval.
Oval.
And you'll get the ratio. When these two varieties are crossed, the resulting F1 plant produces a triangular seed case. When the F1 hybrids are self-pollined, F2 plants are triangular oval seed cases produced in the ratio 15:1. Is it correct? Triangular crossed with oval, you get F1, capital T, small t, capital D, capital. Triangular self-pollined, and you'll get now, what is that? Is there any mistake?
Last one is oval, sir.
Last one is oval. So this is wrong. Oval. Is there any other mistake? Is there any other mistake? Hello?
No, sir.
In the
No.
second one.
Huh? No?
No, sir. No,
Sir,
sir.
gametes.
Huh?
Gametes.
Who is that?
Canisa.
Canisa. Gametes are seen mistake. What is that mistake? They are all wrong.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
What should be there?
Capital C, capital T, capital D.
Okay.
Capital T, small d.
Okay.
Small t, capital D.
Okay.
Small t, small d.
Okay. That mistakes are there. You have to write the same in this way also. Okay. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You said it is okay. No. I am telling it is not okay. Okay. Like that, here also you have to change. So you'll get 15:1. Okay. Right. So please have the screenshot of this. Supplementary factor, complementary factor. Whatever I have taught you, that is put in a table. Gene interaction. Very much important. Even most of the students, they will not write this. They will leave that question, thinking that it is difficult. If you write, your rank improves. Understood? It is given. What are the example? What you see in F1, what you see in F1, like that. And you will be just knowing this by studying this, not simply by writing. And today there is no any DCC. What is this? DCC?
Doubt clarification.
Doubt
Clarification.
Tomorrow I will be engaging in doubt clarification class, and next week onwards you will be having PCMB. And tomorrow, if at all you have any doubt, you must send any doubt well in advance to my number, and I can come prepared with the diagram or whatever it is required. Okay, at 9 o'clock tomorrow, right? I will send the link to you. Come on. Have you taken on this? And this is one more. Right? Over?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, only 1 minute there. I have to, of course, I have been taking more time. I should have finished it in today's class. No, yesterday's class itself. I should have finished the entire discussion of this MCQs also. Have you worked out MCQs?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yeah. Please complete in MCQs. And tomorrow, I have to give you a little bit of this. And at any cost, tomorrow I should finish your this genetics class. And next week onwards, you have to take that molecular basis for genetics. And I think it started in Vidyodaya.
Sir, it's going on.
Molecular basis. Human health and diseases.
That's completed.
Completed, sir.
That completed. Anand Tirtha.
Yes, sir.
That completed.
Yes, sir.
Human health and disease.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
SKC. No one is there. And URA. Diti.
Yet to complete, sir.
Which one?
The human diseases. Sorry. Genetic disease.
Then molecular basis.
Completed, sir.
Completed.
Sir, for
Okay.
me, both the chapters are yet to be completed, sir.
Which one?
Molecular basis and
Okay.
human
Then
health.
let me say, decide which one to start. Okay. I'll stop it here. We shall meet in tomorrow's class.
Thank you,
And
sir.
discuss TM6. Okay. Thank you. Good night.